So this is the second part to my 1 year on T video thing. The first part being like the physical side, physical aspect, and this part's like getting a little deeper. We're going a little deeper here. It's the mental part, the social part, the part that I cry over. Back with my handy-dandy list of things that keeps me talking about things for far too long. Let's start with some nice basic things. As you guys all know, I am Harlow. Yeah. It's not my birth name. My birth name's Christy. Hey. I am 18 going on 19. Actually my birthday is June 30th, so, it's coming up, less than a month. Ooh, boy. I technically just finished high school because I took the victory lap, and then I only took half the other year, so I've had half a year of no school, and then I'm going off to university. I was accepted into Ryerson, up in Toronto. So as of like September, I'm gonna be a Torontonian. I live in like the country. Yeah. It's great. It smells like manure. With that, I have been on T for 1 year. I've been out since, I have to count by my school years, I think grade 10, so that would be 12B, 12, 11, 10, 4 years? 5 years? 4 or 5 years. I've known about that time. Who knows? Literally everyone except my mom's parents. Yeah. And it's whatever. Who actually respects it? Everyone except my family. Ooh. My parents know, but they don't respect it. So yeah, when I knew I was trans, I was like, yeah, grade 10, end of grade 9, beginning grade 10, I didn't really know I was trans. I started with gender fluid, and I was gender fluid up until half a year ago, I think. I don't know. It's gender fluid. It doesn't. That's not making fun of it. It's just like gender fluid, you know, and you don't really know what it is. It just kind of is. Boom. Yeah. So for a good portion of my journey, I was like, yeah, I'm gender fluid. I just go between whatever I want. And lo and behold, that's not what it is currently. Might change again. I never thought I would be doing what I'm doing now, but that is kind of my slogan. I'm never gonna do this, and then a year later I do it. I still go by they, them pronouns. I'm moving into he, him, but I've told myself that when I am able to be properly gendered by like a rando store clerk or something, then I'll feel comfortable switching, because I don't know, I'm like, because I feel like I look masculine enough, and then that happens. I'm like, oh, I'm just fooling myself. As of now, I feel like I look masculine enough most of the time. I go out with my family or whatever, this is my daughter, and it's really weird when you meet someone new, and your parents are there, and they probably think you're a dude, and then your parents go, daughter, and you're like, you know what, that's not even exposing, that's making you look like an idiot. That makes you look like an idiot, because it's like, are you that dense? Like, people aren't stupid most of the time. People aren't idiots, unless they're parents? I don't know. It's just weird. Like, stop. Don't do that. You know what's weird? and I don't know if it's just me, but because I was like raised in female society and like I've had female socialization, I can't tell what's like feminine and masculine unless it's like that overly masculine stuff that's like, be the scent of bears, oh, something like that, something stupid. I'm like, flowers are masculine, right? Why not? And I mean, that's also because I try and keep myself open to like you do you. It doesn't matter. Nothing's gendered. And then I'm like transgender, and that's another thing. That's another thing. I'll talk about it in a second. When it comes to bed sheets, scents, hats. No, not really hats, but that kind of stuff, like stupid things, like decorations and blah, 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 whatever. I can't freaking tell if they're feminine or not. Like, I have gray and white, Celtic design bed sheets, and I look at them and I'm like, that's kind of neutral. But then I'm like, or is it? Going into Lush is hard. Lush is nice because it's kind of like always in between, but I'm like smelling this soap, I'm like, is this masculine? Oh no. Like, they have the 1 cent dirty, and I guess it's like made for men. Lush is pretty good with having it open for everyone, but it's like I guess, like, it's not marketed towards men, but it was made with men in mind, I think, like a perfume for that. And I smelt it, I'm like, this is disgusting. Yeah. I used the All Good Things one, and I love that. I couldn't tell you if it was masculine or feminine, but and the reason I'm even nitpicking about it is because that's the kind of things that give you away. Like, you walk in and you smell like, tulips? Yeah, you smell like tulips or something, and they're like, ah, yes, femme, delicate. And you walk in and you smell like, cinnamon? I don't know, I'm really bad at this, guys. When I started tea and then to this date, I think I've progressively gotten more self-conscious about how I'm acting. I've always been self-conscious about how I've looked, but I got more self-conscious about how I'm acting and how I'm standing, how my shoulders sit, where my hands are, how my head is facing. Because at all times, I want to give off, like, the manliest vibe I can. And it's really disappointing to me because it sucks to realize that I'm a little less fun and outgoing than I was, even though I feel better about myself and I feel like I look better and I'm more comfortable in my own skin. I'm policing myself harder than I was, and because of that, I'm losing a lot of my personality, and I'm hoping that now that I've realized that and I've been able to put it into words, I can act on it to change it and kind of revert. But for a good part of the time, especially when I'm out, like when I'm at home and I'm alone, I'm freaking, like, do whatever, act whatever, and it's funny, and I'm, like, laughing my fucking ass off, I don't know. And it's not like I'm not laughing when I'm out, but everything just seems more tense and controlled. But yeah, I think that's my biggest difference, honestly, is that I feel like I've just lost part of my personality, part of my identity. It might have come with a few other things, but oh my goodness. Mentally, I find I like myself a little more, and I feel like my anxiety has decreased, because a lot of my anxiety was social anxiety. A lot of social anxiety came from, I guess, being perceived and taking up space. I didn't like taking up space, and I found this actually pretty early on, before I even started testosterone, when I felt like I looked like a man, or when I felt like I looked masculine, I wasn't as terrified of taking up space. Like, I would stop breathing because I thought I was too loud sometimes. It was really weird. It was really weird. But, put on, like, fucking that, and I'm like sitting wide, and I'm like loud. I don't know. It's enjoyable. It was enjoyable, and I feel like that's probably one of the changes in mentality that I used to have, because my social anxiety, that's where it stemmed from, and then it kind of dulled down. Now I have a different social anxiety, though. Like, I went to my brother's school, and it is a tiny country school, and like, my mom's referring to me as sister, and I was like fucking out of my goddamn mind, out of terror, because I'm like, fuck, small town, not racism, probably. Sip, sip, motherfucker. My depression has it kind of stayed the same. I had a pretty bad episode about beginning mid-April that went on for like up until about the end of May, early June. Yeah, end of May. And it's the reason I meant to post things and I didn't. I started to do things and I didn't. And it was just really bad. I ended up sleeping almost all the time, which only made me feel worse, because, right, and I was tired all the time, and so, yeah, I was a lot less active on all of my social things, which, again, it made me feel worse. But yeah, so I'm out of that now. Hopefully, you never know when it'll hit again. I've been trying to find drugs, but I've been trying to find something that helps me, and I started last September, and then I stopped, and then I picked it up again, like, April, March or so. Nothing's working, so I'm still on the hunt for something. Because these videos are essentially made for me to track my progress, I am going to put this in here even though it doesn't really help anyone. I don't feel like my names that I've had fit me. They don't feel like they're my names, it feels like it's someone else. Now, I also do have dissociation problems, but maybe that's it. I don't know. Essentially, I've had 3 names, and I'm called birth name at home, Harlow everywhere else, and then a middle in between one, that one group of people call me because I don't connect with them often enough, to, like, say anything. So, on that note, I really, really, really do like Harlow. However, I did pick it when I was aiming for a more gender-neutral name, like Sam, and I don't know. Sam's the first one that came to mind. So I picked that with that in mind, and I wanted a unique name. I wanted one so that nobody would be able to push a gender onto it because they've never heard it in association to something. Like, Bailey. Oh, there we go. Bailey. Most people think of Bailey as a girl's name. I think of Bailey as a boy's name, because the Bailey I knew for the longest time was my male dog. With that in mind, I am thinking about kind of taking a few steps back, I guess it would be. And with my birth name being Christy, and I don't know why I never thought of this sooner, and I probably have, and I just was like, no, that's gross. I don't want any association with my birth name. I'm thinking of cutting off the, cutting ties, because it's T-I-E, and just using Chris, because it's a standard male name. It's probably going to be easier for my parents to use, because there is a little bit of respect there with changing your name. Your parents named you, and they like, not that I'm one to care about feelings when they don't care about mine. I'm in a mindset where I want everything to be easier for other people, and I'm hoping that it makes it easier on me. Now, it's not, because I'm trying to stick to a bunch of people's whims instead of just doing what I want and focusing on myself. But, don't do that. It's just kind of sucks. It makes you sad. I wouldn't suggest it. On that note, now I haven't done anything yet. Same with the they, them, and he, him pronouns. I haven't officially changed anything yet. It is something I'm considering. The he, him will come with time, I believe. Chris, it might get dropped, or I might end up using it. One thing I like about Harlow is that I write it and it looks really cool, and I have awful penmanship. So, Chris, I have absolute confidence in that it will look terrible, because I couldn't write my own name how I liked it. C's fuck me up for some reason. I am realizing that I'm trying to talk about, like, mentality things, but everything tends to relate back to appearance, and that's kind of narcissistic of me, but at the same time, that's really the thing that matters most, because I don't really change. Like, I'm always gonna be pretty feminine thinking, but the way other people perceive me, I'm like, I guess. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next video.